evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing? Monday night. Hooray. We're all happy for Monday nights. How's everybody doing? Hello, Kathy. How are you?
Hey, Kathy.
Beautiful day in Jersey. Beautiful day in Jersey. 60 degrees, sunny. Hello, Cindy. How are you? Lewis, how's it going? I know it's been a while, right? Last Friday? Thursday, maybe? Friday. We went live? Yeah, it was Friday. Hello, Anita. How are you? Laura, how's everybody doing? Eric, hey, y'all. We don't say y'all. She does. I do. Hello, Nicole, Brenda, Teresa, how's everybody doing? Good to see everyone. It's been, like I said, it's been a while, a few days. Susan, how are you? It's been a minute, as the kids say. Hello, Michelle. How you doing? So, good evening, Anita. So Cindy just closed our windows. Yeah. I know it did get cold. It's always cold at night this time of year. Anyway, we did have our event Saturday night. I went live for all of 2 minutes, as you can see. And believe it or not, what was bizarre about that is I was trying not to interrupt what was going on. They were doing a lecture about the history of Liberty Hall in Union, New Jersey. Big, beautiful mansion, the Kane family for 4 generations. Now it's a museum. The carriage house attached to it, which is also an awesome building. And I didn't want to interrupt what they were doing, so I just kind of popped on and just kind of show what the setup was like, what they were doing real quick, show who was there, sort of, kind of. And that got more views than like the Dalen Spratt interview. And I was like, what the hell am I doing wrong? But then I figured it out.
You did, huh?
We live in a world now where people like TikTok, 2 minutes, 1 minute, type of stuff. They don't want to watch an hour like this.
Hi,
or 2 hours of, a ghost hunt at the Creeper Gallery. They want a minute or two. More people will watch a minute or two than would watch an hour, which, again, I get it in some ways, but it's kind of weird that little snippet of, there wasn't a word spoken in that video. I just stood there and then I turned it around and like 2,000 views or whatever. Anyway, but Liberty Hall, good to be back there, man. Always good to be back there. We really like the people that we work with there, Mary Ellen and all the volunteers that help out there. We've had good relationship with them for a number of years now. They've been good to us. When we were, when we needed something, and they
yeah, it's close to my heart because they during COVID they actually got a hold of John and said that we could have my daughter's memorial there, and that was huge. It's
beautiful garden tent. Again, perfect for what we needed. And again, they didn't hesitate. They just offered it. Normally they use that area for weddings
and stuff, and they did that for us.
Yeah,
so that's
good money for that.
That's when you're really connected to people that are just more than what you can say in words. And I will for always be grateful and tied to that place.
So we recommitted ourselves and rededicated to doing everything we can for them and helping them out when we can, hence the Kindred Spirit episode and getting them on channel 11 and doing these fundraising events for them, because that's where all the proceeds go to all of our events. So we're happy to do that for them because we really do like those people a lot, and it's just a good relationship. So here we were Saturday night. We had Robert and Sandra from Beerfort Paranormal. Good people, good investigators. I've always tell everyone Robert is like an older paranormal brother to me. He's just like, we're so on the same wavelength. But there he is. We've every time I see him, I'm happy to see the both of them. I know there's more gear in those containers than it's like. If he left me alone with those cases for 5 minutes, I would have everything I probably wanted from the paranormal gear wise, equipment wise. And I wish I could be with them when we're investigating so I could see some of that stuff and use some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And, but they were there and great people. Love working with them. Great at what they do. Colleen Graves was there doing the scrying. Danielle Voss, Samantha were also there helping out, along with again all the volunteers from Liberty Hall. So they, they make this event much easier for us because so many people are involved in doing what we need to be able to do what we just do. So they make it easy for us to do that. But we get there early enough. We arrived at 5 o'clock. Robert and Sandra were there probably 10 minutes after we got there.
Yeah.
And Robert and Sandra were in the mansion second floor, which is my favorite spot to be. And I gave it up because I was kind of hoping that they would have some experiences like I had there. And I took the carriage house. Chris was down in the lower level.
The oldest part of the house.
And Marie. And again, the link is up, New Jersey Paranormal, right there. Chris keeps posting it. If anybody wants to join the StreamYard who was at that event, just click on that link and you'll be backstage. Just follow the instructions, allow the use of your camera.
Hey, Nancy.
Allow the use of your microphone, and we'll bring you on and you'll be here with us and you can talk about anything of note that happened that night between either
give
myself,
some of the viewers
Chris,
an insight to what it's like, your experience, your side of it, not just ours.
But it could be anywhere and anything, whether it was scrying, whether it was Chris, whether it was me, whether it was Robert and Sandra, anything that you guys want to, because we tell from our perspective. So it'd be cool to hear others' perspective as well. Or Robert, if you want to jump in, you're welcome to jump in as well. If you click on the StreamYard link there. And come on, we could talk a little bit about
because we didn't get to hang out and talk about all of it.
In
so
your
that
section.
would be, I would love to know what happened. Love to know.
It's funny how you cut me off when I'm talking. I'm quiet, taking a sip, and it's dead silence.
That's because I was posting the thing again.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So again, I love that building. I love the carriage house. It's different every time you go there, which is what I always at work. Sorry about it. It's different every time we go there, but the same. I know the mansion kind of has the same spirits that kind of interact there, which is kind of cool. And we'll cover that as far as my experiences where Robert and Sandra were and Chris's experience where she is, and then my experience from the carriage house. But I finally got the basement and the upper level. They call it the attic, but it's like the upper level. But I finally got to bring people up there too, which was kind of cool.
Wasn't that one of the living quarters for the groomsmen?
I'm sure it was used for that, but not only for that.
Yeah.
But we finally got to get up there, and so much more space to work with this time. So what I love about being in buildings multiple times throughout the years is that throughout the year and many years is that you never know. We started. I'll let you talk about your area first, and then I'll get into what happened.
Well, my area is a little bit difficult for me personally, only for the fact is that there is a spirit there. For the last 2 times that we've done events there, and we didn't normally use this spot, and then it opened up to us to use. It's where the different cooks through the time periods. They have the older kitchen, and as you step, and it goes further down as you go down. You go in, it goes down. They have a section where they have all of the alcohol that belong to the family, the wines, the cognacs, and
stuff's worth money too.
Yeah, they're very rare pieces, and they have the cigars and stuff. So there's a special room that you go down into where I actually separated and put people in there and was doing something. And then the other part, like I said, you go up and there's the upper level. This is where the last cook worked, and she was known as not such a nice person. Like, she was very aggressive and very territorial, and people were kind of fearful because she ran the ship. And then as you step further, you go down and there's another kitchen, and then you go down even further and there's the oldest kitchen that was back there. And Bella and her son Lambert, we know, were back there definitely. But being in there, for me, I would always tell everybody when they come in, the less I speak, the better off, because I annoy the crap out of the spirit that's here. It tells me to shut up. it curses at me. It tells me to leave.
But you have a name for her, right?
We think it's Mary.
But you call her Mean Mary.
Mean Mary, yes. I call her Mean Mary. I definitely call her Mean Mary.
Should have done more than that.
But yeah, I call her Mean Mary because she gets very, and every time that I did speak up or say something, she would say something derogatory and let me have it. So it just got to the point where I would tell people when they come in the group, if I say anything, we're not going to get a nice response. And we didn't, and it kind of had people laughing. But the one thing that really triggered in a lot of people, we don't talk about it, and we don't broach it, but they have a pet cemetery of all the dogs that they had in the family. That's somewhere we don't point out to anybody because they don't want anybody going over there. But in the session, the person can't hear us, the person can't see us, and they're secluded off somewhere. And we sit in a separate area of the building and we ask spirits questions. And one of the questions that a person asked, do you like cats or do you like dogs? And they had dogs, which none of the guests that were there that night knew. And all of a sudden we hear the person in the other room go, ruff, ruff. And it was like the funniest, coolest thing ever. You wouldn't, I mean, talk about perfect timing of asking that question. Instead of saying dog, it actually came out ruff, ruff.
Is Nancy backing you up?
Yeah, Nancy, you were there, weren't you? See? I think it was Nancy's group I think that happened with. Nancy, we would love if you want to come on and tell people about the experience and what it was like for you there. I'll put that link right there if you're up for it.
I told you to do more than what you did.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was very interesting. And we actually kept getting reactions. And this is where Nancy and Jonathan too, and it actually happened with Brian and Taylor. When we went into the oldest part of the kitchen with Bella and Lambert, Jonathan was in a group with all females. He was the only male. And as soon as we started talking about a male cooking, the K2s and the static detectors were all going off, and it was funny. And then when Brian and Taylor went over by that side, and he said, I felt something really cold, and he walked away from there. And I said, no, wait a minute, let's try something. And Taylor got her shirt tugged over there too. Like I said, let's try something. They both had K2s, and their K2s started going off. It just started reacting. So there was something there, but the energy was a lot lower.
Yeah. So,
hey, Nicole.
Again, anybody was there that wants to join in and talk about their experiences or anything in particular that jumped out to them are welcome to join us. This is, again, part of something new that we're rolling out, whereas, if anybody wants to come in who's actually there, other than us just talking about it, you're welcome to do that. No pressure. Again, we know that people don't like being on camera, and we get it. Like I said, was in the carriage house, and what I mentioned before about being in the same building yet having different experiences. When we had Ben from Channel 11 WPIX News with us, we had him in the basement of the carriage house, and there was a lot going on. Specifically, if you walk down the basement, you go down the stairs, you could go all the way to the back, and there's an opening, and that leads you to the back part of the basement. And that area in particular, when Ben was there, we were getting a lot of interaction with equipment, especially when Ben took off his watch and put it on the ground. Things were reacting the entire time when he did that, as if somebody was like trying to pick it up or take it or something like that. And even when he tried to pick it up and remove it, like everything would react. So I'm in the main part of the basement doing what I'm doing to see if anybody's going to interact around me. And I just, top of my head, I said, boy, I don't know if you remember who's ever here, but remember we invited that gentleman, Ben, here, and we brought him back there, and we had him blindfolded, and and this proximity light that I have just, boom, flashed on. And I said, oh, you do remember? I said, do you remember his watch? And the cat ball went off and the static detector started spinning around. And I said, you know what? Maybe we should go back there if that's where they are. And the first group, never, ever, ever happens. We went back in that back area. 7 people were in that group. And 7 questions were asked during an EVP session. And probably 4 of them got responses.
Wow.
I was like, what?
Wow.
I mean, one after the other. And it was a female. And then it was a little girl who claimed that she was 10 years old. And I said to myself, boy, we need to come back here. Again, in my head, I'm thinking if it were us, Tanya, Kenny, me, and Chris, I would spend an hour back there trying to get everything I could from whoever that was that they were talking. So, finished with that group. We brought them upstairs and not much happened up there. The very next group, I spent a little bit of time in the main area. And Nancy's right, I got poked in the butt. And we went in that back area. And this time, whoever the female was every time somebody asked the question, she would ask the question. Like, is your favorite color purple? She would say, is your favorite color purple? She would wasn't mocking though. It was sort of like
Mimic?
An echo, but in her voice, she was just repeating what she heard.
Huh.
And when about the question about the poke, she said, who did it? Like she was asking who did it, and that one, again, to my amazement, out of 4 groups, 28 people, there was at least 14 to 18 responses, which never happens with EVPs.
We got a response in that back kitchen where the energy was really low. Like it takes a lot for something to happen back there. I don't know if there's just in the older part of the kitchen, the energy isn't as high, but if you ask the right thing, you get something. And someone asked, what were you cooking? And it said something dinner, but we heard the some, and then there's a word that we couldn't make out. And then it said dinner. And we all just like, our mouths all dropped like, what? It just said dinner. Unbelievable. And then somebody asked, how many are here? When we're in the other side, on the newer part, where Mean Mary area, and it said 10. And 9 people sitting in that one room, and 1 person that was the record, the experiment with the thing over there said 10.
Yeah, I asked the same thing in the basement of the carriage house. I said, how many spirits are here? They said 30. I was like,
whoa.
So then we go. The carriage house is so cool. Then you go up the stairs and you're up the top part of the carriage house. And, they had the stables in there. They had hay in there and everything. And people did live in the back rooms. And I'm doing the spirit box session. And then I said, who's up here? Who's up here? Because that's another thing. When Ben was up there, a lot was going on. And somebody said, clearly, Richard. And I said, Richard. Okay. I said, Richard, did you work here? Did something happen to you here? And he said, hurt. And I said, you got hurt. What happened to you? And he said, my heart. And I said, oh. So that was weird. So to then go to the next group where we're using, again, the name Richard and what happened to Richard. And this was Cheryl and Mike. Mm-hmm. Cheryl was on the other side and the static dome was going off right in front of her. It kept going. So I decided to walk around with the SLS and have people behind me. And I'm mapping someone literally laying on the floor, and they're just like writhing. They're just like real slow moving, just laying there. Like it wasn't a standing up figure, it was laying down.
But you want to hear what's funny?
Well, wait. So then I took equipment and I put it on where I saw it laying down, static equipment, and boom, boom, right there.
We in that kitchen area down there in the house. It's funny that you were getting that, because we were getting pain, morphine, drugs, hurt, Percocet. It was so funny when that came out. The guy goes, Percocet, like he was good. Like, why would you be saying this to me? And one of the docents said that I don't know if it was Captain John that had shrapnel in his knee.
Oh, it was either that or his colonel, or the colonel.
Yeah, the colonel, his father. So it was just like there were a lot of little nuggets of things that were coming out. We also got someone got called an idiot. If they asked a question, it's an idiot. It was just like, what?
Hey, Celine, how you doing? So all in all, again, There are events that are easier than others because,
Mm-hmm.
we tell everyone we can't predict anything that's going to happen no matter where we go and
you
how
don't.
active it was the time before.
Last time we got a little boy, and this time we didn't get that little boy.
Yeah. And this time was just, it makes the events easier when, again, you find a room with EVPs. It's like a gold mine. And that happened to me at Centenary College.
Yeah.
I went behind that stage and in that small theater, and there's a female back there that's just talking. Yeah, EVPs galore, Robert said. So that's Captain John is one of the most active spirits I've ever come across in my life.
Strong.
Him and his wife. He makes his presence known all the time, and it's just so cool. March 18th. Yeah. Patricia, I got your message, by the way. I'm sorry I didn't respond yet. It's been a crazy day. But definitely, again, easy event when the things are happening and it just, the spirits are willing to interact. I mean, it makes it so easy. And it just, again, hopefully it adds to what's going on, for the people that are attending the events too. Because, we know, if you're paying to go on a ghost hunt, it's like all I can think of is Jurassic Park, the original movie, when Jeff Goldblum and them, and they're in that vehicle that's on the tracks.
Yeah.
And every time they stop somewhere, there's no dinosaurs. And he looks at the camera and he goes, so we are going to see dinosaurs on this dinosaur tour, aren't we, at some point? And I think of the same thing, like, the expectation is, of course, to go into a quote unquote haunted building and experience something.
Well, you hope.
That's the expectation, but you can't. There's no way of guaranteeing.
And when you do have anything happen, it does blow your mind because you're just. There was a person that was in the group, and she literally walked into the oldest part of the kitchen. There's no smell in there. There's nothing. It's just like it's a museum all set up, like the old time. And there's a cradle in there, and there's an old spinning wheel. She walks right in and she goes, "Do you guys all smell that?" And we're all looking at her like, "What?" She goes, "I smell food." And we're like, "Really?" She's the one that asked the question that what do you, and it said something dinner. And it was just like, there was something about her that I guess the cook just connected with her and wanted her to smell. And I was like, "What do you get?" She goes, "It's something sweet. It's something like," and I'm like, "Oh, wow."
Again, that's probably all residual. Hey, Paul, how you doing? And Robert, I think Robert is getting on the haunted object wagon because I did hear that he put a recorder on he ported that old Ouija board out to me. The old child playroom, the doll room, and the old Ouija board was up there, and he said he has one like that. And later on, he's like, "Hey, I put a recorder on top of that Ouija board, and I got some interesting stuff." And I'm like, "Hello, like, what do you think I've been doing for like 5-6 years now?" I mean, objects. And again, that building in particular. So a great time Saturday. Glad you enjoyed it, Lorraine. I'm happy you had a good time. Lorraine, now I know who you are. Yeah. Again, I see the name. Now I have a face to put with it.
If you want to come on and talk about it, Lorraine, if you're not worried about it, just click on that link.
Lorraine, are you with the two Eds? Is that Lorraine? Because sometimes I get people mixed up. But here's the beauty of Liberty Hall. Liberty Hall it's a time capsule. It's all right, Lorraine, I got you mixed up. That might have been Elaine. I get people confused. Saturday was terrific. Donna, I remember.
Yeah, Lorraine was by herself.
I was on Saturday night. So I'm trying to think who
Donna,
you are, Lorraine.
Were you the one that got Donna, the smell in the kitchen?
Is Lorraine the... Who's Lorraine? Lorraine the... Do you have blonde hair, Lorraine?
It's going to drive me
I'm going to guess Lorraine. It eventually. Anyway, like I said, Liberty Hall is a time capsule in that... get rid of that one. In that you have this beautiful mansion, and that 4 generations of Kane family members have lived there. And we found out, again, being there, that we they enjoy us being there. The family likes us being there. They like the paranormal stuff that we're doing, which again means a lot to us because that was their home. Their parents, grandparents, great grandparents lived there. So the last thing we want to do is go in there and make it a spooky, scary place, and that's not what we're into doing at all. But the furniture, you literally walk into room after room, and everything you see belonged to them. And that's so rare. We've been in so many buildings for so many years, and like stuff is brought in that's period,
donated.
Yeah, it's period correct.
Not this place.
And everything belonged to them. So you have all these objects that belong to the family that were held by them. They
actually have, like, every holiday, they decorate with the actual decorations that were the families, the tables, everything. They've got the same silverware, everything. Nothing is gone.
I was just asking Lorraine if you had blonde hair. I wasn't sure.
He was trying to figure out what you look like to try to remember who you were.
It's like every time I talk. Just,
yes.
All right.
Caffeine. That's my mission tonight. My mission is to like.
I did. Okay, now I kind of remember you. Texas. Okay. Hello from Texas. What's that? Tea? Yes, I drink tea, Celine. I'm civilized.
Coffee girl.
I'm a gentleman. I don't drink coffee. Coffee's for brutes. Civilized, educated men drink tea. I was the one who told you had been at the Creeper Cow. Yeah, now I remember. Say, I get there. It takes me a while, but I get there. So many highlights from Saturday night. I like Mary Alice's bedroom, especially in the carriage house attic. Yeah. That's, again, the beauty of Liberty Hall is there's so much room, so much space between the mansion and the carriage house. There's just so much space. That's why when we originally started investigating, like the mine, we were there 3 times before we ever had the public in, because we couldn't cover. Rutherford Hall is going to be the same thing. It's just huge.
And there's still more to Liberty Hall. There's another whole section that we don't even, because it's for anyone that was there, you know how far you had to walk and going back and forth from different groups and stuff. And there was even further in different areas we could have done, but it was just like trying to do it all.
And that may be worth an idea of maybe, because Adam's going to be there. Adam Berry is going to be there May 5th and 6th at Liberty Hall. We'll be with him, of course, but it's really Adam's event. We're helping with it.
Yeah.
So we're going to be there helping with the ghost hunt, but you can meet Adam and hang out with Adam. And then I think there's 2 separate ghost hunts each day that you could go on with Adam and us. We'll be there helping. So if you missed it and you're interested in being with Adam Berry and meeting Adam Berry and seeing what it's like to ghost hunt with him, I'm just as curious as everyone else what he does and doesn't do as far as the ghost hunt. You should come out in May 5th or 6th to meet him, because again, that'll be here before you know it, and you'll get a chance to see Liberty Hall and tour Liberty Hall. And Adam is doing a lecture and a Q&A, I think. So it should be fun. I mean, I love going back there, and we even talked to them, when we were there about what's the next event for New Jersey Paranormal there. Which, hi guys, is there a way to join you on an investigation? Heather, have you not been watching for the last 20 years here? We do have public ghost hunts all year. We just got into our swing 2 weeks ago, and that's going to take us all the way through December in many different buildings on many different weekends. You're going to have the opportunity to come on an investigation with us, just like the people you're reading about on here, and check out all these different buildings. Oh, Heather, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I thought you'd been with us for a while. Yes, you can join us on a public ghost hunt. If you go to the website, NewJerseyParanormal.com, or here, if you check the event section, you can see when our events are coming up. And usually just, hi, Satori Hawes. Satori,
hey, Satori,
where you been? I sent you like 2 messages.
I was taking care of Cody.
That's why I've been asking how Cody's doing. I want to know how he's recovering there. I want to see if he's up and about yet. But she doesn't respond. So she is watching. Woman. I know. She's very busy. They got their big thing coming up in the spring that I don't know if I can talk about. Satori, can I talk about that? But anyway, so Tori, yes, please let me know how Cody's doing when you get a chance. So anyway, so yes, you can join us on public ghost hunts throughout the year, different places. Oh no, I've been responding right away. He's good, good. Happy to hear that he's doing well.
We are too, thank God.
Paul, we know all about the Woodbridge train crash because we investigated buildings that were supposedly used as triage centers for the train wreck. The train wreck is true. It definitely happened.
Oh, no, it's true.
Go on YouTube. You could Google that train crash and you could see actual footage.
We actually
black
did
and white footage.
We did on TV 35 on YouTube. You'll see where we actually did a show about it, where we went and did an investigation, did interviews with people with stuff that happened there. And
in the building, not
in the building. Pertaining to the train wreck, though.
Sort of, kind of. Hey, Nora, how are you? But yeah, really interesting. That's how we became involved with the township and the expo. Long story. So anyway, yes, several ghost hunts. I'm going to be putting more up soon because there's a bunch of them again coming up from
now to the
June
end of the year.
All the way to the end of the year. I've only announced up to May 13th, but there's so many, probably every 2 weeks, really coming up. So looking forward to those. And you know what's cool is that, I had mentioned it being kind of like, even before this one, we were on our way to do this one, and I was just like, boy, it's like the second step in like the climb of Everest, and because there's all these events in front of us, including the expo, and it's like, boy, I'm getting older, I'm getting tired, can I keep up with this pace of doing all these events? And after Saturday night, I felt good. I felt really good. I felt good leaving there. I had a great time myself.
I did too.
So that.
But I'm gonna tell you, I was still beat up.
You're older than I am. Of course you are.
By a year.
But I did. I had a good time, and I like being around people who want to be there. That's what I mean. Saturday night was full of people that wanted to be there and experience things and try whatever we were doing. There, every once in a while you get the skeptic who's like, there because his girlfriend or his wife dragged him there. I'm looking at you, Luann. But Saturday night was great. Lots of cool people there. What are you guys going to do? Recap of Hall's Mills murder? I missed.
We did that.
Hall Mills, we did that last year, November.
Yeah, it was November.
Yeah.
We had an event at the actual historical place that had us do that.
I would imagine we're going to do that again this year. I would imagine. I don't think they're going to let us back in to investigate the evidence again because they had to jump through hoops.
We freaked out too many people.
Well, they had to jump through hoops. There was a lot of layers of approval there, and I don't see them letting us do that again. But we could just repeat what we did. Tony loves it. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, it's all over his face when he's there. Fantastic. I love the work I've seen you do. Very respectful to the non-living space.
Thank you, Heather.
Yeah, Heather, I think you'd enjoy yourself. It's again, something to watch it on a live stream. It's another to actually be there. And again, our events are tailored for the people that, if you've been doing this I for a while, I think you still enjoy it. But for the people who, aren't out there doing it like we are and just want to experience, it's not, one of these ghost walks down a main boulevard and walking you through a building, type of thing. We actually practice what we preach. We go in there, we try to educate you a little bit, we try to have some fun, and we also try to see if we can
try to investigate together,
with who's ever there, so you guys can have an experience like we have. That's why we go in there first to see what's what, and then we say, hey, everybody, come on in and see what you can see too. You never know. You
got Luann saying, I swear.
I don't know if I believe that, Luann. I've seen my friend Tony enough to know that either that he's a great poker player because he hides it well. Anyway, we are, I should say we, I can't say we, I can say me for sure. The Creeper Gallery tomorrow. I was only able to do 2 objects the last time because the Ouija board got me pretty good. I do I do hope to get through 3 objects tomorrow, or we hope to get through.
It'll be we.
I don't assume.
I'm telling you.
Assume.
I'm speaking for myself. I said.
I don't assume.
Me and moi.
Me and moi. Isn't that the same person? Or no, there's 2 different people.
Me and moi.
Oh, okay. But yeah, tomorrow we'll be back at the Creeper Gallery again. Like I said, I'm hoping to get through 3 objects, but I'm the same when it comes to.
Are you going to touch something dark?
Hey, people are
I'm
watching.
talking about the haunted object. Is it something that's got dark energy to it?
This is a family show.
Yes, it is a family show.
Please. Wow. Go wash that mouth out. Glad you feel better.
Thank you, Ann. I do. I feel much better.
Yeah. I'll do that one, Teresa. That was one of the ones that I wanted to do last time, and again, I have to be careful when I do that stuff when someone's around because,
I get easily affected. Yeah.
So tomorrow, hopefully 3 objects. I try to mix it as if she ever said to me, "Let's do this object, let's do that object, whatever," I'd be like, "Yeah, sure." I mean, there's always one that I'm going to gravitate to, and
it depends because I picked out things and you're like, nah. I don't like that.
Kind of, you don't really have a knack for picking.
What you just said the opposite of what you said. That's not true. What did I pick out that ended up being pretty darn good?
Which one? Come on.
The last time we were there together.
Come on.
And it was the one that actually it had stuff happening, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. No, you can't remember either.
Because I don't remember it. You're right, because it didn't happen. But yeah, hopefully, again, I love going in there. Always do what you feel, John. See?
Don't always tell them that. You might feel my hand.
Hey, again, family show. Cut that out now.
The crown was awesome.
She didn't pick that. She didn't. That was a mutual pick. Hello, Colette.
Oh, it's mutual. See, if even if I did pick it, it's going to be mutual. That's how that's going to work.
So that one's
I got his number.
Probably
now.
7:30 tomorrow because again, Donna said 7:00 is probably too early for people because people are getting home from work and whatever eating
so
dinner.
7:30.
And speaking of Donna, if you guys could all wish her dog Momo well. Poor Momo hurt his leg and will probably require surgery. So if you guys could wish poor little Momo well, and my daughter's dog as well is going through some rough stuff as well. So, if you guys could, positive energy helps. So Creeper Gallery tomorrow, which should be interesting. Again, what I love about the Creeper Gallery is, I know you said you put new batteries in all the equipment before investigation, but do you use to buy new cat balls for every investigation would cost a lot of money. So no, cat balls have a life of at least 4 or 5 months, at least.
Yeah.
So no, we're not breaking open new packages of cat balls for every investigation. They've upped the price of them. So no, we're not doing that. I'm at work. It's UK. That's Colette, our friend.
Hey, Colette.
Colette, you back at Amazon? Not working again? You're gonna get us in trouble from keeping you out of work. You're gonna get fired, and I'm gonna feel bad.
I'm gonna get fired.
Hey, people in UK, if your packages aren't on time, I got your proof. If you need it, it's right here.
Go ahead, Colette. Give it back to him.
Everybody, UK screenshot.
Give him help.
Right here. Anyway, especially you Prime members, you pay good money for that stuff. So anyway, so like I said, the events are coming up. Creeper Gallery tomorrow. And what I was saying about, there's April.
Hey, April.
April, we haven't talked to you in a long time. I'll probably be watching from work, I believe. Okay. Hey. What I love about the Creeper Gallery in particular, Creeper Gallery is like investigating 3 different buildings in one night. So, I'm security. That's even more scary, Colette. That's even scarier to know that the packages are probably already to make it stolen.
She's keeping it. No, she's protecting it.
Anyway, like I said, it's like investigating 3 different buildings when you do 3 different objects because the energy is different. You never know who's attached to each object, and you just kind of reset, start over, reset, start over. That's what was difficult about the last time I was there. The Ouija board made it difficult to reset and start over because it was so active and the energy was so weird that I really couldn't get my mind back to zero, if that makes sense, to just, here's, and knowing it was another potentially dark object, I didn't want to have to go through that again with another object.
I wouldn't either.
After I was so exhausted and tired from the Ouija board that I was just like, no, I'm not going to try to put because then you risk, going home and headaches and nausea the next day and just dealing with whatever that feeling, is the ones that, and again, you kind of pile it on top of each other. If you do too many in a row, that it does stay with you for a little while. And I didn't want that. I wanted to get out of there. I drove down. I was thirsty, like Chris said. So I went down. I went to the Wawa. I got myself a double chocolate milk.
Oh,
yummy. And put that down with a coffee cake. That is proven to get rid of demonic energy, by the way. Look it up. Google it.
Was there a new object this time? Yeah, he did the Ouija board.
He steps on my jokes. Did you see it? Just
go
ahead.
But it was Ouija board, and what else did you do? You did that thing that goes around a wrist, right? Where you stick pins in, and it had a mirror on it. So it's like one of those things you put on your. They don't make those anymore like that.
No, they do not.
I'm glad I wasn't there for the Ouija board. How dark is this other thing that you're thinking
about
doing?
Until
it just says that there's a dark attachment. They think.
Sewing bird. That's right, sewing bird, whatever that is. Again, I looked at it. It looked like a mirror with a brush on the top of it.
Yeah.
What do I know what that does? Maybe that's why they went and talked to me.
Yeah, because it's a wrist thing.
Yeah, I have no
You just
idea
unfold it, it wraps around your wrist,
that's
and
what
it has,
she
and then you
probably
put the
too.
pins
She's
in
probably
it.
like, this is a man. You don't know the first thing about any of this
Probably
stuff.
it too.
I'm going to talk to him about it.
Hey, Taylor.
Taylor was there. Taylor, where's Brian and the crew? Come on live.
You should come on and talk and tell everybody. I'll put the link up there. You should come on.
Tell everyone how great we are. Come on.
And how you got your shirt tugged in that in the kitchen.
We need someone to come on and tell us how great we are. Live. Sewing bird is basically like having a third hand when that doesn't even make any sense.
Yes, it does, because you don't sew.
Third hand. What does that even mean?
Because it actually sits on your wrist and everything's there, and you can pull it from there. And if it's on your wrist. Needles, things when you're hemming,
we're
sewing.
Fantastic. Sewing bird. Okay, well, you learn something new every day, but I'm not doing sewing birds anymore. Sorry, Donna. No more sewing birds or sewing of any kind. I did the sewing baskets that belonged to that woman who I think was murdered.
Yes, the doctor.
Those were good.
Yes.
But again, I could relate to on a little level. I know about putting stuff in baskets.
Those were her sewing baskets.
Well, that's what I mean. That I could relate to. Easy. Nothing on a wrist and third hand stuff. I don't know what that means. The one you have, I believe, attached to a table. I don't know what that means. Hello, Heather. How are you? So it's so funny because again, we're at Liberty Hall and we're doing this event, and Nancy, who's out there somewhere, is asking me for the doll that we investigated at the Barron Art Center. I have the picture.
Well, you did it, right?
Excuse me.
I don't think I was there for that.
You were there.
I was? I thought you took it yourself and you did it. I can't remember.
Man, I don't know what drugs you're doing, but please share. If you're gonna do them, share. Just don't do them yourself.
I was there, wasn't I?
The Barron Art Center, when the piano was on the stage.
Yes. Sorry. My brain. I just remember when you went, I need to do something like that. Maybe then my brain will get better.
Crochet, I think we had to do that back in the day. when we were in school. We had to take home economics, and I believe we did have a sewing course that I failed miserably.
I'm not surprised.
Both this thing
I'm not
and with the machine, I failed miserably. Not for me.
She's talking about sewing.
But like I said, Nancy was asking me for that doll, and I told her, you can have it because there's nothing I'm going to do with it. The picture I want to get rid of too.
She said it's a twin to the doll she has.
Yeah, the picture I'll probably leave in the creeper gallery because I don't want anything to do with the picture either.
That picture is creepy as well.
And I won't buy. She tried to do it to me again. We were at the antique. We drove all the way to this antique store, and again, I'm in an area, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting a bit of a headache or whatever, and there's something looking at, and she's like, "What do you want it?" And I'm like,
"What was it?"
"No, I don't want it. I'm not doing this again."
What was it?
She tries that. She's the devil in my ear, trying to get me possessed by these demonic.
What was it?
I
don't remember saying for you to get
You don't remember being on the stage at the Barron Arts Center investigating a doll?
I do now, but I didn't then.
Oh, yeah. What I deal with? I can't tell you how
You're
many times.
Lucky that you deal with me.
I don't have a good.
Because I don't know who would deal with you.
I don't have a good memory. I know it. I admit it. I talk about it all the time. Yet, what investigation are we? When are we doing that? Who are we interviewing?
Yeah.
When is that going to happen? I'm like, dude, like I said to everyone, a calendar. Look at the calendar.
I did look at the calendar.
Don't ask.
And when I opened up the calendar, there was nothing on it.
Because you didn't know how to open it.
And I asked you to, and you go, don't bother me right now. So,
Oh,
hey, I'm not going to know until he's willing to be bothered to show me, right?
But speaking of mirrors, Lewis, you brought up a good point to take my mind back to Liberty Hall again. Robert, who's another one, I think he's like in air traffic control. He shouldn't be watching either if he's anyway. In Captain John's room, which is the most active room in Liberty Hall.
Oh, hands down.
Hands down.
Hands down.
That guy is an active, intelligent spirit who will interact, and Robert proved it. Usually I'm there talking to him, and
I have a good
rapport with him. And Robert was up there and obviously getting stuff too. But Robert brought up a good point. If you walk into that room, which I call, ironically enough, the red room, because the wallpaper or whatever is red, weird pattern. And when you walk in there, what you see Brian's on too. Brian, nobody wants to come on, Brian. You guys were there. You said we're fantastic. Anyway, when you walk into the red room, the very first thing you see is the bed in front of you. And then you see a big mirror that's over a fireplace. Beautiful mirror that was given to them by the wife, Mary Alice's parents, right? Big, beautiful mirror that supposedly one of the cleaning people saw an apparition walk through Captain John. On the other side of the room, another mirror. In the other corner, another mirror. There's probably 4 mirrors in that room. And Robert brought up a good point. Robert said, you've got all these portals. People believe that mirrors are portals. You've got 4 of them in this room, which again, in theory, would make it so much easier, even if Captain John wasn't there all the time, for argument's sake. It would make it so easy for Captain John to come out of one of those portals, that mirror, which somebody saw. Yeah. In and out, in and out, in and out. So I thought that was really cool when he brought that up. I looked around, I'm like, how many times I've been here and I never really even thought of that. I mean, again, and this is part of the stuff that I love, because we did a little bit of that, but I want to get back to it. And I probably shouldn't say it because it's been a while since I pointed them out, but they're there. I saw a few of them online tonight. They're there. And I just want to do some more experimentation with stuff like that.
Lewis would be shocked if you saw how many antique mirrors I have. You probably would freak out. Somebody
did mention the scrying. I went by it though.
Yeah, she said it was great.
Yeah, amazing too. That was Colleen.
Yeah, she does amazing. She knows exactly how I like that to be done, and she's like, I give that girl. She knows so much, being what she practices.
William, are you in Jersey? I just read your message. We live blah blah blah. I saw another good message up there too that I couldn't remember. That I couldn't see. Okay, I missed it. What was your y'all? We don't say y'all. Y'all.
I do.
Y'all's as in I thought. What?
Y'all.
But isn't y'all you all? Oh, sorry. I went to the Cracker Barrel. I should be more familiar with this stuff. I had some experience in the basement kitchen.
Sure did, Brian. Brian, you should come on. You should talk. Here, I'll put the link there.
Maybe they don't want to.
Don't be shy.
What were we talking about before that? What was I talking about? Someone
y'all.
said something. No, before the y'all. I was going to say something. I forgot. I lost my train of thought. But like I said.
Oh, you asked William where he was from.
No, wasn't that either.
Okay.
Before that even. This is what I get when at least I can count on is someone telling me and helping me go to the next subject or next subject. Scrying. Thank you.
With Colleen.
Thank you.
Yes.
Colleen's very experienced at scrying, and I don't know if you guys know, or you probably know because you were there. Colleen is a witch, a practicing witch. So, New York. I don't know how far that is from us, William. But yeah, we could talk about it. Hello, Sherry. But Chris is very good at scrying. She's researched it a ton to, again, add her own personality to what she does and create her own type of scrying event. You know, when people are there scrying with her and instructing them on how to do it. It has to be
authentic. It can't just be sitting and staring at a mirror. There's got to be so much more to it.
And Colleen has been doing this a while too. So that's why we like having Colleen there. If Chris can't do the scrying, Colleen is definitely more than capable of doing it. And I think her perspective as a witch kind of adds a little something different to it as well.
She literally comes from a completely different spectrum than I do, and I love being able to change out and bring her in and have her perspective on it with people, and then them get to see how different people can be doing it and it still work.
I gotta get a witch on here. I gotta interview a witch. Very nice and interesting.
So she is nice. Nancy. She's got a wealth of stuff. I mean, if you ever sat down and talked with her, you'd find out so many things that are fascinating about her.
Really enjoyed the pendulum too. I got to get a witch on here. I'm really interested in interviewing a witch because I know nothing about it. Zero. So I know there's like stereotypical ideas about, I'm not talking about evil witches. I'm just talking about witches in general. Mm-hmm. But I really don't know a lot about witches. So I'd love to find even like pagans. You know, I do know a few. I knew people that are in New Jersey, pagans. Mm-hmm. That's where we kind of went back and forth because they were NJP before we were NJP. So we went back and forth until I made friends with them, and now we're both NJP. Go figure. But I know some of them, and I would love to have a few of them on just to explain kind of their beliefs and what they do. And I'm always interested in different religions and different cultures' way of communicating with spirits, which is also really cool about the Creeper Gallery. When we do come across some of these idols and things that were used by different cultures and religions to interact with the spirit world. You know, I love that idea of just learning more about that. Like, what was their method? How did they do it? And is there a way to incorporate their method in with our method? You know what I mean? There,
Brian. Just click on it. Sorry, Brian asked me to send me the link. The link's right there. If you just click on it.
So go ahead.
But anyways, I saw that Colette said that she is a spiritual.
Well, what I was going to say was
medium and not a witch.
Who?
I wonder what the difference is. She said she's a spiritualistic medium.
Who is?
Colette.
Oh, I thought you meant Colleen.
No, Colette.
I know there's all different mediums. Evidentiary. I know there's all different. I don't understand any of it, but okay. But like I said, that's what I would love to interview different people about their methods, even Native Americans and stuff like way. That's what, again, people talk about ghost adventures and how crazy they are and how they're possessed every episode. But they try, they do the ritualistic stuff. They try different types of experiments. So if you could get beyond the possession and the Zach stuff, and you really do see that they're, they do a lot more than other people do when it comes to trying different ways of interacting with spirits and connecting with them. That's what I like about them, and the entertaining weird stuff that they get possessed every episode, and I laugh and have a good time with it. But I would do all of that stuff if I knew the right people to where I knew I was doing it safely. I would try every one of those methods, rituals, everything, just to see what's the difference. And if something worked, of course, I would want to learn all I could about it. What was that again?
She said, Donna said that in Liberty Hall
Library,
someone stared in the mirror and saw her father's face and had half her face numb. It was her deceased father's birthday.
Oh, wow.
Both her parents have had strokes.
Oh, my God. Jeez.
Yeah, that's what scrying does. It can reveal things, what's eating at you,
Of kindred spirits.
Your subconscious. It can make you feel emotions. It can make you have thoughts that aren't. There's so much more to scrying than people can possibly imagine.
We were on what is called the most popular episode ever of Kindred Spirits, Colette. I don't know if you know that, if you got that over there where you are, but I was nominated for an Emmy. I didn't win, but I mean, we were told that was the highest rated episode of or any show ever. So I don't know if you knew that. It's true. True story. True story. Look it up. Google it.
It's huge.
Anyway, waiting on Brian. If Brian doesn't come on, we're going to be going off soon. But scrying is so interesting. Well, maybe I won't want to do a show on scrying because there he is.
There he is.
Hold on 1 minute, Brian. Okay.
Sure.
There he is. I don't recognize you with the glasses.
Oh, yeah. I can't see if I don't put them on. I won't be able to see you guys.
Do you always wear glasses?
Just for like reading and looking at the computer and stuff. I do.
Okay. I was going to say, you must be really blind when you're walking around those buildings then. No wonder you're seeing paranormal stuff.
No. I could see far away.
Over there. No, there's a guy standing next to you. Shadow figure.
So Brian had a heck of an experience in the kitchen, and so did Taylor.
Yeah, we were standing in one spot in the kitchen. We walk in over to the left, and I was standing there for a few minutes, and I felt like the hair on the back of my neck almost like stand up, like someone was like tickling me or trying to touch the back of my neck. And then I moved over and I stood next to Chris and Ann just to see if it would go away, and it went away. Then I moved back, and then it happened again. And then Taylor took my place, and then Taylor was feeling a poke on her back.
And then you both had the K2s that went off.
Yep.
Again, that's one of the coolest things that could happen is when you do feel like you got touched or like a shirt tugged or something.
Yep.
Because your mind automatically goes to like, that didn't happen, but it did happen. You know what I mean?
And his back was to the wall there, where there was a shelf there, where nobody could be behind him to do that to him. He was all in his own little space right there. That's what, and so was Taylor.
Too.
And Taylor was the same way. Taylor was in that little section all by herself, and the rest of the people were over there. And they both got, there was something about the both of them.
So Brian, talk about how great New Jersey Paranormal is and how that other group sucks so bad without mentioning their name.
I can really get into it if you want to.
Talk about that.
If you want to, I can really get into it.
Yeah, just a minute. Go ahead. Tell the people.
Well, I mean, me and my wife.
Don't name the other group.
No. Me and my wife. We've always watched the paranormal shows on the Travel Channel. I think that's the only channel that works on our cable box is the Travel Channel.
I hear that.
But we did go to another one of the paranormal groups, and it was more like I don't know. There was like 25 people walking around from room to room, and you really couldn't. It was more of a storytelling that they gave us of what they've experienced, and not letting us kind of experience our own things. So after that, we met up with you guys. I think at the mine, I believe, was the first time we met you guys, and then you guys let us kind of be involved and kind of get our own stories and and experience everything firsthand without being through you guys. And ever since then, you and Chris have been great. Your whole team's been great. And, we try to hit every event we can if it's open on our calendar. That's for sure.
Yeah. And that's, again, real quick, because Brian is, we paid him to do this. Might as well admit it.
The check hasn't cleared yet, though.
I'm kidding. But again, Brian's one of those guys who, we were doing the ghost walks at the mine, and it really wasn't a ghost hunt, but they came and they found it interesting. And then we encouraged them to come on a ghost hunt, and they really enjoyed it. But people like Brian and Taylor and others that we've met for the first time, again, we appreciate when people are willing to spend money and come out with us and enjoy it enough to want to do it, again.
Oh, it's people like you and everybody that comes to the events that makes it fun for us too, because you guys are so enthusiastic and you get so excited and you're so quick to share what's going on around you, and you realize that's important. You need to talk about and share what's going on so other people can figure out and continue to investigate and try to put the information together to see who we're dealing with. I know someone down in that basement does not particularly care for me at all.
No, we tried that. Remember, we asked Taylor that question, right? And I think some foul words came out.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I tell John that every time I go down there, like it calls me an idiot. It
Yeah.
at me, tells me to be quiet, tells me to leave, and I just like.
And Brian is the one who gave me the can. New Jersey Paranormal, by the way. So again, you want to get on my good side, gifts. Just
gifts. Shower with gifts.
To be my friend. To give me stuff. All right, Brian. Thanks.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Take care. Have a good night.
Night, Brian.
Good night.
So
Deb even said it's
I'm waiting for Brian to say. I'm looking at him with those glasses trying to. Okay. I was wondering how long it was going to take. Deb said, I concur with Brian. Participation is better.
It is.
Again, I'm not going to mention any groups by name. There's a lot of them out there. And first thing that I want to say is, because there's a lot of them out there, make sure, especially now that we're getting into the event schedule. There was a lot of this. So I had to find that word. That's why I did that so long. There are other groups out there doing events as well. And just make sure, if it's us, if you're watching us, and if it's us you're interested in going on a ghost hunt with, make sure it's us. You're watching, we are strictly New Jersey Paranormal. If there's ever anything after New Jersey Paranormal or before New Jersey Paranormal, it is not us. Don't get confused and wind up buying tickets for somebody else, and it winds up not being us. Participation, Deb said it, Brian said it. That's what's different about us than most of these other groups out there, is that we want to be involved. We want to be engaged. We want to be part of it. We break into separate groups for a reason. Again,
and we want to see if your energy mixes what we found, or if it's different, or something else comes through.
It's all part of the experience. It's all part of the experiment. That's what we do the whole entire time. And I think that makes us different, along with our personalities. I think we've been doing this a long time. And you can't manufacture anything, and you should never try that. But there are people that like being engaged and being involved.
Leanne said she's never cheated on us. Well, we love you too, Luann.
And that's why we and that's why working with Robert and Sandra, they get it. That's why we like working with them. They get it. It shouldn't be ever about us putting ourselves on a pedestal like we're these great paranormal researchers and investigators, walk around with us once and go. I mean, that's still fun for me. Other people may like that. And I'm not saying our way's for everyone, because it's not. There are people out there who have their own equipment, who want to go into these buildings and do their own thing. I'm totally okay with that. And I get it. Believe me, I get it, because I would probably be one of those people. But because we have created a community and we do like involving everyone who's there with us, it's our preferred way of doing it. It always has been and always will be. And when we bring people in like Robert, Sandra, Colleen, Daniel, others,
We learn
they
things too.
know that that's kind of what we do, and we gravitate to those people that Robert gets it. He's got all that equipment. He wants to educate. He wants you to experience what that's the way it should be.
Well, him and Sandra are just as passionate as we are,
but
about
we're
this.
experiencing it together.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea of this. It's not to you know, you being off in a corner up on the third floor by yourself, and I heard a noise and a knock over there. Okay, well, what does that matter to the 20 other people or 30 who are here? They weren't there. They didn't hear it, you know. So again, that's always been the way we worked. And like I said, I'm not putting down the other groups that do it a different way, because it's just their way. And there are people that like that. And I get it. This is our way. This is the way we've always done it. And we always will do it, because for me and us, this is the way that works best for us. This is the way that we enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
And we have people that have come to our events over and over again for years that should be bored of us and
you
done.
I love,
but they're not.
I love when different groups are coming through to each one of our sections, and the energy changes and the responses changes. It's you never know what you're going to get. So it might be one event, but within that one event, there might be 4 different times that the event has changed into something that you didn't expect.
That's the
and this is why Chris doesn't talk too much, because he goes
watch like last year's live feed where I said,
you notice that my ideas, your ideas,
I know
I
they
picked
blend.
something, it's because we both picked it out. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
I love you too.
She's sitting there going on and on before we did this event about doing something, and how she's like, I love to do this, because what I do is I do this, and then and I'm like, that is literally my idea from 4 years ago, and you're talking to me like it's something new.
No, I didn't. I was saying I was excited about doing it. I wasn't saying it was my thing that I created. I was excited because I wanted to see what happened. But you see, he gets caught in his head.
Whatever.
He gets caught up here.
Anyway, tomorrow night, Creeper Gallery, 7:30. We'll see what happens there. Again, one object, I already kind of know what we're doing, and hopefully we'll be okay, and Chris will be okay. If the energy's weird, initially, I'm sure she'll just bow out and go in the other room.
Oh, I will if it's dark.
So he's 5 points for the third hand comment. Yeah, I'll give her that, Patricia. I don't think Chris made the third hand comment. I think that was Deb, though, or one of the others.
I said how it went on your wrist and why it was the third hand.
To get public involved. So we have good results. Yeah. So tomorrow night, Creeper Gallery, 7:30. Cool. We will start promptly. YouTube, New Jersey Paranormal, this page right here. Who knows what objects we're going to pick? We never know before. We just kind of go in there, see what we see, line them up, and one after the other, away we go. But yeah, thanks for coming, Donna. We appreciate that. We appreciate everyone for coming to our event, for watching our live stream, and for supporting us year after year. Even to you new people, hang in there. It gets better than this, I hope. But hopefully you guys keep watching, because we'll keep going as long as you guys support us.
Stay safe, be healthy, and please be kind. It is harder to be kind. I know it. It's easier to react out of anger or frustration, but you just don't know sometimes that just a smile or just saying hello or acknowledging someone can change the dynamics of somebody for the day for the better. So good night. Take care.
Hello. You're acknowledged.
That's right.
I don't know how to do it.
You couldn't even do it.
I could do a crooked heart. Night, everyone.